Hi, I'm Yixin Zhou from University of Michigan. A quick warning that this talk will include content related to intimate partner violence, stalking, and harassment. If this could be triggering, I'll give you a moment to mute or leave the room. Today, I'll be presenting a collaborative work with researchers from Cornell Tech and NortonLifeLock on the role of computer security customer support in helping survivors of intimate partner violence. Intimate partner violence, or IPV, is prevalent and can cause severe and long-lasting trauma on survivors. For statistics in the United States, over 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced rape, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. For the transgender community, the rate of experiencing IPV is over 1 in 2. Our research was motivated by how technology could be weaponized to facilitate IPV. An abuser can hack a survivor's accounts or devices, bomb the survivor with harmful messages, do public shaming through revenge porn, among other attack mechanisms. Spyware has played a prominent role in IPV, such as in this example, when the abuser can see details of the survivor's nearby environment through remote camera access. In NortonLifeLock's 2020 survey, 10% of respondents reported using an app to monitor their intimate partner's messages, phone calls, emails, or photos. We identified computer security customer support as a new and promising avenue for helping IPV survivors, since professionals that regularly help IPV survivors, such as social workers and lawyers, reported having insufficient tech expertise and best practices to deal with tech-enabled IPV. Security clinics for IPV survivors exist, in which trained technologists analyze a survivor's digital access and provided personalized advice. However, these clinics are currently limited to respective geolocations and are still navigating challenges in remote operations. By contrast, computer security support agents have training and expertise on products crucial to IPV survivors, such as antivirus software that can cache spyware. Additionally, these support agents often deal with help requests from various issues beyond products, such as scam and ransomware. However, helping IPV survivors requires extra caution and care, since this population has unique threat models and challenges in taking action to protect themselves. Inappropriate responses may traumatize survivors or even escalate the violence as the abuser seeks to regain control. Our research sought to answer what are the opportunities and challenges for computer security customer support to help IPV survivors. To answer the question, we conducted a preliminary qualitative analysis of support chat records, followed by focus groups with IPV professionals and support practitioners. The chat analysis sought to understand if support agents receive IPV cases and how they handle these cases, whereas the focus groups aim to draw actionable recommendations that both cater to the needs of IPV survivors and consider the real-world constraints of customer support. The chat records we analyzed came from a large consumer-facing computer security company that has products from antivirus to VPN and serves millions of customers globally. We found that support agents do receive help requests from IPV survivors, but they did not seem to be sufficiently prepared, as they typically focus on tech issues and do not always show empathy to survivors' risk and trauma. In one case, when the customer mentioned repeated hacking from their ex-husband and a restraining order, the support agent replied, "Do not worry about these problems if you have the product installed," without acknowledging that the customer is facing significant stress and danger and has many reasons to worry. To elicit suggestions on how customer support could better serve IPV survivors, we conducted 5 focus groups with 17 IPV professionals in total. We presented 3 representative chat scenarios from the previous analysis and guided IPV professionals to discuss what the support agents have done well and what can be improved. We then conducted focus groups with support practitioners from 4 large security companies and 11 participants in total to evaluate the practicality of IPV professional suggestions and identify any potential constraints or challenges for implementation. The focus groups with IPv professionals serve as three principles for computer security customer support in interacting with IPv survivors. First, acknowledge the limits of security software is important, since overpromising what the product can do may traumatize or mislead survivors. While support agents are usually expected to advocate for the company's products, in this case, security software cannot fully protect IPv survivors as they navigate many social and legal challenges. For example, the survivor may still live with their abuser, who can then physically access and control their devices. On a scenario where the support agent said, "Do not worry if the product is installed," an attorney stressed that the agent should instead listen to the survivor and be honest about what the product can or cannot do. A counselor added that the agent should use languages such as "this is scary" or "it sounds like you're having a really hard time" to show that they understand and empathize the survivor's situation. Support agents could provide survivors with critical tech safety advice and resources, but doing this requires caution and boundaries. IPv survivors can benefit from tech safety resources, but they also face risks of escalated violence from the abuser for routine privacy protections, such as changing passwords or turning off location tracking. Advice with caution means that agents should have a safety check-in. For example, asking, "Do you worry that somebody might be listening to or recording our conversation?" And if it's not safe, offer to reconnect on a safer line and let the customer decide whether they want to do that. Advice with boundaries means that agents should know their expertise lies in tech issues but not beyond. Examples of out-of-scope advice include comprehensive IPv-related counseling, how to maintain physical safety in escaping from the abuser, and legal advice. Conversations about the out-of-scope topics should be redirected to external resources and experts who are systematically trained for these topics. Example places for referrals include hotlines and advocacy groups for IPv survivors, womenslaw.org as an example for legal resource, and National Suicide Prevention Lifeline if the survivor discloses suicidal thoughts. Some support practitioners mention they are doing external referrals already to some extent, such as directing scam victims to government agencies. So the procedure and infrastructure are in place, and the next step is to expand the repository to include IPv-related resources. IPv professionals also noted that support agents should let the survivor decide whether or how to use the referred resources and avoid harmful labeling. For example, a counselor said the support agent should avoid calling the customer a survivor of domestic violence. Instead, use the language the customer uses and let the customer call it in whatever ways they want. We concluded our research with 3 recommendations for computer security companies to better address tech-enabled IPv through customer support and beyond. These recommendations were based on insights from both sets of focus groups, and support practitioners in particular saw their values and practicality. Participants from both sets of focus groups agreed that training customer support agents to properly handle IPv cases should be a priority. Such training should introduce support agents to both technical and non-technical aspects of IPv and highlight example scenarios to help agents recognize relevant cases. The training should teach agents what to do and not do, and additionally, it should provide resources for agents to cope with secondary trauma, since bearing witnesses to violence could be heavy, and some agents themselves might be IPv survivors. Support agents agreed on the necessity of such training. As the director said, their frontline agents do not have dedicated training on IPv, and it's critical to raise awareness of these issues as a starting point. Another director added that they saw the benefit of such training to a wider audience. For example, empathetic language should be used regardless of whether they are interacting with someone with IPv. This should be used across the board. Support practitioners also mentioned the need to track IPv cases in their daily work to inform relevant decisions. For example, some IPv professionals suggested an in-house specialized team within the customer support department with more expertise in dealing with IPv cases and less pressure of finishing cases on time. To this, a director responded that the company's founder might be genuinely interested, but they also need to balance the idea with business needs, particularly by understanding if there are enough IPv cases to justify the cost and logistics of setting up the team. Third, IPv professionals and support practitioners joining forces with each other creates numerous benefits. A great example is the Coalition Against Stalkerware founded in 2019, which united organizations that support IPv survivors, digital rights advocacy groups, and several IT security companies. An enduring partnership provides a learning pathway for both parties to benefit from each other's complementary strengths. We further see the opportunity of such partnership leading to remote security clinics for IPv survivors at scale, where support agents can help with technical issues and provide basic tech safety tips, and IPv professionals can focus on non-technical issues and in-depth safety planning. Here's a summary of key takeaways, and please refer to our paper for more details and check the research team's other work at ipvtechresearch.org. Please reach out if you'd like to talk more or discuss collaboration. Thank you.